March 8, 2020 is when our story will start. A 16-year-old in Elko, Nevada failed to come home after attending her dad's band practice. Her name was Gabrielle Britney Ujlaky. During the practice, she told her father that her friend Bryce Dickey was coming to pick her up. Bryce and Britney had met at the rodeo and have been friends for years. They would hang out after school and Bryce would make sure that Britney got home on time, making her parents happy. After band practice, Jim, Britney's father, got home at around 7:30 p.m. and she wasn't there. He cannot get a hold of Britney, so she called Britney's mother, Alicia, asking if Britney is there. They were concerned since the call kept going to voicemail and found it unusual knowing Britney was always on her phone. She called James, Britney's brother, to ask if he knew. James said no, and then they decided to get a hold of Bryce, the last person who saw Britney. James texted Bryce asking if where is Britney, and he replied saying he'd drop her at Spring Creek High School. James then asked if who did he drop her off with, and he replied, white guy, tall, had a cowboy look, and said he didn't get much a better look of him. Bryce said that the guy drove a truck, and that it's a green ugly F-150 from the early 2000s. After hearing these, they panicked. They asked more from her friends, before eventually filing for a missing persons report on March 9, 2020. Britney's family and friends was questioned that eventually led to the last person who saw her, Bryce. Sergeant Doug Fisher asked Bryce to meet him at the parking lot of the high school since he wanted to visualize what happened.
Kind of run me through it so I can understand what's going on.
Alright, so Sunday, around 11,
Okay.
I started texting, got a few texts from Britney, just asked if I wanted to hang out. Said sure, get ready and stuff. Told me she could meet me at Angel Park because she said her dad was doing band practice. And then went to town, called her when I got into town on 5th, and then picked her up at Angel Park, drove around, went up towards Mountain View, asked what she wanted to do. Said she had no idea, said, why don't we just go drive around to Spring Creek since we got more room over there. So we went back over the hill, just started chatting, talked about her finishing school, how school was going for me. Kept driving around, and then we were over in the Horse Palace section, and my dad called me asking if I could come back home. So I told her I needed to go. Asked her if she wanted me to just drop her back off at Angel Park, and she said that she wanted me to drop her off at the high school to meet her new friend, and said her dad was going to pick her up later. So then came over here, pulled in right over there, gave her a hug and stuff, and then she got out. I pulled out and then started heading that way, and the F-150 was over there, but I didn't know that was where she was going at that time. And then got about right towards where it opens up, and then looked back, and they were both standing outside the truck. And then I got to the turnout right over there by the middle school, and then the F-150 was in motion.
Okay. So you said what was the F-150?
Yeah, it was ones that are really ugly looking, have the side step in them.
Okay. Like that winter green, dark forest green?
Like a dark forest green.
Okay. So you picked her up at 1:30. Where did you guys go? I mean, you said you were with her for how long?
Dropped her off at 4:30, so that's three and a half hours.
I'm sure that you didn't drive her around for 3.5 hours, because that's a waste of gas.
No, I drove around for 3.5 hours.
Okay. That's all you did for 3.5 hours? That seems really odd, that you just drive aimlessly around.
That's what I do almost every day. I was in my Chevy.
What's your Chevy?
It's a 93 Chevy 1500. Sorry, Silverado.
Single cab or double?
Single. Single with a long bed.
So you just drove around, you didn't stop anywhere?
No, we didn't stop at all. We literally just kept doing circles, drove around towards the sports complex, looked back around, went through the housing section.
I just think it's kind of odd. I think you know more than what you're telling me.
I'm being honest, sir. I mean, not in a bad way, but any of my friends you can ask, that's what we do most of the time is literally just drive around Spring Creek for hours.
Well, I'm thinking you know more about Britney than what you're actually confident. I've been doing this for a long time, and I usually can smell somebody that's leaving out something. So what are you leaving out?
I'm not leaving out anything, sir.
With all these, the sheriff sent out a press release saying they are looking for a green Ford F-150. They traced her phone, and it pinged in Boyd Kennedy Road. They then conducted thorough search of the area. 36 hours after Britney went missing, and all the efforts have been exerted with flyers spread out throughout the area and tip lines established, there was still no trace of Britney. Not until the late night of March 10, when Alicia received an alarming message from a number she didn't recognize. The person said they have Britney, and they were asking ransom of $7,000. Alicia then told investigators about the message, and they told her not to reply to the message until they can trace the number. The next morning, Alicia went to the sheriff's office, and they went on to trace the number. At that point, Detective State received a call from Sergeant Fisher, who was outside of town in a remote area called Burner Basin. The locals aiding in the search for Britney found something concerning and informed the police.
It looks like a human head to me. Yeah, it looks like a chest cavity in the dark podium or something. We walked over here on this side. I'm pretty sure that's their drag marks there. Yeah. Uh-oh. See that? Yep. That's not good. Oh, that's a 1092. That's a body.
Yeah. Hey, Nick. We got a female body. We have a female body. I don't know if it's her or what, but we have a female body out behind Burner Basin.
At the office, Detective Stake had to notify Alicia that they have found a body.
Okay. And I just want to let you know that we have found a body.
I'm gonna pass out. Can you get me some help? Can you get me some help?
Yep,
Can
there's
you
some
get me
people. Okay.
Give me some help. Oh my God, give me some help. We're out. We're out. We're out. We're out. Help me, please.
When Detective Stake arrived at the scene, he first noticed bloodstain and the condom wrapper. The body showed signs of assault as her pants and undergarments were down. She had a puncture wound to her neck. A used condom was also found near her body. The body was sent for autopsy, and later dental records confirmed that it was Britney. Investigation for the murder immediately started. The ransom message was examined and found it to be invalid and most likely to be scam. Then, autopsy results later showed Britney's cause of death. It was strangulation and blood loss from the neck wound. Swabs from Britney and the evidence found in the scene, like the used condom, was sent for DNA testing. Surveillance footage was collected from establishments near the Spring Creek High School looking for a green Ford F-150. Instead, they found Bryce's blue pickup truck going into the direction of where they have found Britney's body. Knowing they have been lied to, they invited Bryce for an interview. Their goal was to get Bryce's DNA.
Just showing you, door's not locked. You're not locked in here, all right? Like I said, you're not under arrest. Okay. At this point, you're not even really a suspect, okay? But like I said, just because of the nature of the investigation, we gotta make sure that we do everything super thorough, okay? So I got a little bit of the story as to what your involvement was, but I'm not clear on a lot of things, and I'm just trying to do the best job that I can do. So hopefully you can
ask
help us
any
out.
question you would like.
Perfect, man. Thank you very much. First and foremost, you're how old?
I'm 18.
Okay. Like I said, you're not under arrest right now. If you think that I'm being an asshole or something like that, you can get a walk out. There are some questions I'm going to ask that you probably be thinking like, what the fuck are you asking that for? But there's a reason, okay? And I'll explain it, all right?
Okay.
And like I said, if you have any questions or if you need to clarify anything that I'm saying, because I want to make sure that we are completely clear on what's being said and how it's being said. So if you need any clarification whatsoever, please let me know.
Okay.
All right. Detective Nelson's here as well. He might have some questions as well, but
Okay.
like I said, right now, as far as we know, you're the only person that saw her alive, or the last person that saw her alive. Okay.
Okay.
Interview then began, and also them asking for buccal swab from Bryce. He was then sent home while awaiting for results.
Would you be willing to submit
Thank you.
a buccal swab just for your DNA?
What's a buccal swab?
So it's essentially just 2 Q-tips. You can do it yourself. They're a Q-tip about as long as this pin. You rub it on the inside of your cheek, and then you take the other one and rub the inside of the other cheek. We put it in a box. That way we have your DNA. It's suspected, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was some kind of sexual activity, what they're suspecting.
Okay.
Not saying that you were that person and you have no reason
No,
to
I
have your
understand.
DNA in there, but you're the last person that we know of that was with her when she was alive.
Yeah.
Basically, for you, it'd almost be like an elimination. You know, kind of like, hey, this isn't our dude.
No, I have no problem.
4 days later, results came back and Bryce was a match. Condom matched Bryce and Britney. He was then invited again for another interview. They asked about their relationship. He said she was like his little sister, and she had been calling him Big Brother. They asked if they engaged with intimate relationship before. Bryce denied, and that he has a girlfriend. Eventually, investigators revealed that the DNA was a match. Bryce then admitted that they engaged with oral sex with the use of condom. He then changed his story, saying that after she was picked up by another guy. With all the evidence against Bryce, he was arrested and charged with the murder of Britney. Family and friends of Britney was then informed of the arrest. Later evidence on Britney's Snapchat account showed that they were together after he reported that he had dropped her off. As the trial went on, Britney's friends testified that she had rejected Bryce after he admitted having feelings for her. After a 9-day trial, the jury returned with a verdict with only less than 4 hours of deliberation. Bryce was found guilty. He was sentenced to life with a possibility of parole up to 46 years.